We are in a holy place this morning. For our readings this morning, we have a pair of brief but rich commentaries on faith and doubt. The first is by Hermann Hesse, who wrote, "Faith and doubt go hand in hand. They are complementary. One who never doubts will never truly believe." And the second reading are the words of Lillian Smith. "Faith and doubt are both needed, not as antagonists, but working side by side to take us around the unknown curve."
Good morning, family and friends. First of all, since I come out of the Black church tradition, let me do what's called the preliminary remarks. So I want to say thanks to my friend and colleague, the angel of this house, the Reverend Molly House Gordon, and to the board, all of you for allowing this old country boy to come back over here again. I don't mean that lightly. As most of you know, I've been an ordained person. I started out with the Presbyterian, so I tell people I'm a recovering Presbyterian. But I was duly ordained in those days. I was ordained United Presbyterian, which no longer exists, because we did crazy stuff. We supported gay people in ministry, and we did prison relief and that kind of stuff. They put us out of business. And then I was also ordained National Baptist, the large one, National Baptist Convention, USA Incorporated, which is the largest African-American denomination in the United States. That was a weird mix. So the church I went to in Detroit, and I'm just about through. The church I went to in Detroit was a federated church, one half Presbyterian and one half Baptist. I told God that she would have to put me in the belly of a great fish in order to go through that experience again. 2 sets of books, 2 boards. Oh, come on, y'all. Can you imagine? Y'all are doing a new members class today. When you joined that church, man, you had to tell what side you were joining. I thought, this is the craziest thing I ever seen in my life. I say all that to say that I'm always at home when I come here with you. You all make me feel like you love me. So if you're lying to me, if you're lying to me, don't stop. I never worry about what I have to put on. Minister Phyllis is with me. Minister Phyllis is my associate over with Dawson Jr Ministry, and she helps take care of me when Miss Dawson can't come. If y'all have connected with us on Facebook, Miss Dawson has been little peopling, taking care of grandkids, and whew, my baby is exhausted. And so she apologizes for not being here. I never will forget Todd. Every time I think about this, I think about Todd. Todd teased me. He says, we like you coming. He said, but I think we like your wife coming most because she keeps it lively in here, Fred. I didn't know. I told Maria, she said, of course. Anyway, y'all know Maria. Y'all make me feel welcome, man. I want to thank you. Colleague, thank you. I was surprised to see Molly here today. It's good to see her and Jeff and the kids. When you get older, sometimes folk don't want to mess with you. See, I ought to have had a witness right there. Somebody ought to say, you get older. I'm thankful for the opportunity to preach anytime I can. Secondly, let me just say, sorry about my get up, but I have to do that now. I used to try to preach without my oxygen. They told me that was crazy. Don't do that anymore because my oxygen levels dropped so low. I mean, if I could preach like one of the eloquent white ministers, I probably wouldn't lose. But since I'm going to holler, I have to, Brother Buffalo, I have to put my air on it to make it. And so yeah, forgive me. But hopefully what I have to say will take away the vision of this stuff. When I was in seminary, when I was at Princeton, I ran across a sermon called The Importance of Doubting Our Doubts. And I thought that title has stayed with me over the years. And since you all are talking about spiritual practices, because a spiritual practice ought to do two things, correct? If nothing else, it ought to center you. It ought to give you an opportunity to know who you are in a world that tries to make you be everything it wants you to be. Everybody in here has had to go through the process of deciding who you are. And if you haven't found yourself, you need to. Plato once said that to know thyself was the greatest challenge in the human experience. And what spiritual practices do, Jeff, and it really doesn't matter which one, but because the spiritual practice ought to do is help me get aligned with me, to find out who Dawson is. Listen, I tell everybody that when I was a younger cat in high school and stuff, I'm trying to figure out what does it mean to be a black man? And I was surrounded by all these images. I had the image of conking my hair. For those of you who don't know what conking is, you take Vaseline and you put it around the edges of your hairline, and then you take lye and you comb it through your hair in order to make it straight and curly. Oh, I wish I had a witness. And then I realized that's too much burning for anybody to go through. In fact, if you remember the movie Malcolm X, when the police break in on Malcolm, Malcolm is in the bathroom trying to wash in the toilet that lye out of his hair. I had the image of a fro. Should I wear a super fro? Should I try to be darker? See, y'all think colorism is just about being lighter, but it was always the challenge, Bobette. Somebody, am I black enough for you? What does it mean to be Christian? I knew it wasn't what those white European Anglo-American folks were saying, because they were singing, we are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord, and yet was calling me a nigger. I know something there wasn't right. Y'all going to go come with me. Somebody talk to me in here and trying to find out who I am. And so one of the things that finally came to me is that there's doubt. Oh, we wear the mask. We look like we got it all together, but there's doubt. And Fosdick, he was an interesting cat. He's one of my heroes, because he went to First Presbyterian in New York and was the pastor there from 1919 to 1925. They kicked him out. That's right, I said they kicked him out because he said maybe that this literal translation of the Bible and spiritual texts is faulty. Maybe no matter what the text is, maybe we ought to think about the text, the word behind the words, not just the words. Maybe we ought to think about a spirituality that includes folk from the East as well as those out of and around that. Maybe there's something about that paganism that even if I'm not a pagan, I can learn something from them. Well, they kicked out Fosdick. So, no, you're a little too liberal. And I like troublemakers like that, who remind me that one of the great spiritual practices all of us need to embrace is the importance of doubting our doubts. Because there's a lot around me that makes me doubt. And if you're wondering, just give me a few more minutes and I'll leave you alone. Doubt. There's some social stuff going on that makes me want to doubt. I was speaking to Nick Foster. He's Representative 4th Ward, Representative Councilperson. And he and I have been friends for a while. He's an Alabama white boy. Oh, can I be myself in here? Y'all looking a little funny up in here. And obviously I'm a black man. And I forgot to describe myself. I'm fine as hell. I got short hair. I got a little goatee. And I'm wearing a black jacket, I think. Bobette, the light's not real good in my and a gray shirt and black pants, gray socks, because I try to dress even though y'all don't care nothing about no clothes. I have some social doubts. I've got folks in the state of Florida telling young people that if we're going to have education and if we're going to talk about the phenomena of slavery, let's talk about the benefits of being a slave. Some benefits, huh? Does that mean you're going to give me my 40 acres and a mule? What's the benefits of being raped and beaten and robbed? You gonna show me some benefits? I got some social stuff that's going on. I've got this huge economic disparity happening in the community between those who are getting richer and those who are being poor. I got some social stuff. Nick Foster and I were talking, and I said, Nick, I thought that we'd finally get past this racism thing. We were singing, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. And I thought, Phyllis, George, we're going to overcome. And I'm still nervous when I'm driving after 10 o'clock. Nick said to me, Dawson, I didn't think we'd overcome because I was born in the South and I know how deeply prejudices can go. Susan, I've got some other stuff. I've got some political stuff that bothers me and causes me to doubt. Look. We had a madman in the White House. Come on, here, somebody. I want you to go over there because they're trying to steal your vote, and I'm going to go with you. That fool went home. Y'all ain't praying. And he's back. And there's a group of people in this society who are flooding him with money, talking about we want our Trump back. And listen, flip a coin. You got DeSantis. There's some stuff that fills me with doubt. And maybe one of the worst is self-doubt. Am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Am I too old? Doubt. And the importance of the spiritual practice is to say to yourself, wait a minute. When I start doubting, I need to have also then the next level of doubting my doubts. Oh yeah. See, I started out talking about this thing about racism and sexism and homophobia. Lord have mercy. Can we please get past that one? Homophobia. And you know, I'm thinking, man, every time I look at the television, every time I read a newspaper, it gets worse and worse. And then all of a sudden, the doubting of my doubt says, yeah, but who says it's got to stay that way? Who said? You may not think that you can do anything about it, but see, everybody in here has a gift in you. Everybody has a gift in them. And Bobette, if I match my gift with your gift, and you match your gift with his gift, and he matches his gift with her gift, all of a sudden we got mega gift. And who says it has to stay this way? Who says that sexism has to stay this way? Who said that ageism has to weigh on us the way it does now? Who said we can't change this thing? We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. I'm doubting my doubts. Because when I doubt my doubts, I get a sense of purpose. I realize I'm not here by accident. I'm not here just because. Fred, we are here with a purpose. I find meaning in a world that tries to rob me of meaning of life. I mean, anybody had children in here? Anybody reared children in here? Isn't it funny how when they are toddlers, they can't do without you. And when they finally get some friends, they don't know you. I have meaning in life. When my daughter died, my oldest daughter died. And when my daughter died, yeah, she had lung problems, and she was 48 years old. And one Saturday morning, I got a call from my ex. And my ex said to me, I just want to tell you, Kayla died last night. I'm like, huh, what? She was sick, and they sent her home. And while she was at home, somebody came to the house, infected her with COVID, and she died. My daughter was different. She would love it here. She'd probably be a member here, because she would be in the meditation group. She would be with the pagan group. She would be with, I won't tell who you are, but there are some Christian folks up in here. Yeah. She'd be with both the theists and the non-theists. She was a different kind of child. And when I looked at her, when I think about her, I realized there's meaning, there's purpose. There's a whole lot of times I thought to myself, am I just speaking good words? Am I just entertaining folk? Or is anybody listening to me? And all of a sudden I get that picture of her. Well, Dad, you told us to be independent thinkers. I'm like, shit. It's important to doubt our doubts. It helps us to cope with our anxiety and our depression. Man, you can get real depressed out here. You can get real depressed out here. But my spiritual practice teaches me, when I doubt my doubts, that trouble won't last always. I'm sorry, I love the story, so I have to tell it again. They said Howard Thurman was having what's called the dark night of the soul, and Howard Thurman was walking and pacing the floor. I know some of y'all with me with this one. You ever had some problems, some issues that you couldn't handle, and you talked to people and they didn't understand you? You might as well have been speaking Japanese because they didn't know what the devil you were talking about anyway. And you're walking and you're fretting and you're fuming. You try to lay down. Alcohol doesn't work. Sleeping pills doesn't work. Nothing else works. And you're fretting and you're fuming and said, he had a night like that. And he was walking and didn't know what to do in his room. And all of a sudden, the sun come up. And he heard two young alphas. That's the black fraternity. Two young alphas were on their way to cafeteria for breakfast. And they were singing, I'm so glad that trouble don't last always. Hey, I'm so glad, yeah, that trouble don't last always. And he said he realized trouble don't last always. It might be tough right now. You might be going through right now, but trouble will not last always. Our spiritual practices restore a sense of hope. I tell folks all the time, God gave me everything I needed except money. Yeah, anybody else been in that situation? You feel yourself in that? And by the way, let me put this out here. You use thank you. Because literally, I didn't know. I believed I would, but I didn't know how I was going to make it this summer. I'm serious. I didn't know if I was going to have utilities. I didn't know if I was going to have food. I didn't know. You all have supported the GoFund that Pastor Molly put up. Y'all have supported the Colorism and Christianity Project. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because if you hadn't, I didn't know what I was going to do. But see, I had hope. Oh, y'all ain't feeling me. I had hope that somebody would feel me. Somebody would say, if I can help along the way, then my living will not be in vain. I had hope. When you practice the right spiritual practice, you have hope. Listen, I'm not going to Bible quote you, but I got to tell you this one. Hope that is seen is not hope. Hope is unseen. And that's why I picked those readings, because in the midst of doubt, faith will show up, because faith is the substance of things hoped for, Sam, and the evidence of things not seen. My spiritual practice gives me hope. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I've been here before. I survived Bull Connor. Y'all ain't praying. I survived Lester Maddox. I survived Storm Thurman. And if I can survive those, hope says, then you'll survive this. When I have the right spiritual practice, I realize I'm connected to community. And I'm not out here all by myself. Brother Gibbons, I don't know if he's here. Is he here? Brother Gibbons was taught, we were talking one day, he said, a lot of people talk about communities of faith. He said, but I like to think of that faith in community. I'm like, go ahead, brother, say that thing. Faith in community, because my friend, all of us been hurt in here. Is there anybody who's never been hurt in here? I didn't think so. All of us have had our heart broken sometime. All of us have been mistreated along the way. All of us have gone through hell and high water. Lord, I thought I had a church with somebody feeding me in here. All of us. And if you're not careful, the pain in which we've gone through will make you stop believing in other people. You'll get to thinking that everybody's a scoundrel. Everybody's trying to take advantage of you. Everybody's trying to get over. Everybody's trying to hurt you. Everybody's trying to break your heart. But when you practice the right spiritual practice, you realize you are part of a community of folks that love you, not because of how you look, good God Almighty, but because of who you are. So I just come by to tell you that you're old enough and young enough, you're black enough and white enough, Todd, you're fat enough and skinny enough, you're rich enough and poor enough for the job that is before us. If you practice the spiritual practice of doubting your doubts, you'll realize it may not come today, Violet may not come tomorrow, but it's on the way. What's on the way, Dawson? Victory. It's on the way. What's on the way? Success. It's on the way. What's on the way? Bobette, freedom. It's on the way, Fred. Well, I may not be able to see it right now, but I know it's on the way. Liberation is on the way. Somebody said, and if I could just hold out a little while longer. That old black song in the black church. Lord, help me to hold out until my change comes. Is anybody waiting on their change to come? Just hold on. Thank you. The road